Hello, everyone. My name is Samuel Torres. Today, I'd like to talk about these two big steps in the way of understanding how a language works. So, let's talk about the differences between linguistic and communicative competence. Let's start by the linguistic one. At this point, we need to talk about Chomsky because he introduced a very important theory about this. So, this part is how we think on rules, on the technical part of the language when we talk. And well, the performance in this way is very important because is is how we think on those rules when are talking on when we write something. So for this we need to take in consideration how the language founds the rules, the grammatic, the phonology, the phonetics. We need to have lexicon. We need to know the morphology of the words, the semantics, the syntax. We need to take in consideration syntax and the pragmatics of a language. This is the technical part of the language. But a language is not just technical. We need to know how communicate our ideas to someone else. This is the communicative competence. In this, we need to take in consideration the context because a, a, a language it is found in a social context. So we need to also explore the social focus of this. In this part, we have the linguistic competence, we have the social linguistic competence. So those parts refers to the first one that we also talked about the technical part, but how applied in a social uh, place. The discourse and the strategy, it's also taken in consideration here because uh, not is just how you structure a sentence, it's also how you structure your ideas in order to communicate with someone else. So the difference are clear. The first part, the linguistic communication, is how we think on grammar when we talk. But the other part is the strategy of how we communicate that. We need to take in consideration the context. That's social linguistic part. For teachers is very important because understand this is to know how make it some clear for students and make it some structured for they in order to understand how we need to think on these two dimensions when we talk or when we write something. So this was my homework. Thank you so much, and well, goodbye.